I'm not interested in how many 2-for-1 offers you buy at the supermarket, or how you spend your spare time, or in virtue signalling.
Our Prime Minister there, being absolutely mental, as usual. For those who don't know, about a week ago, Liz Truss and the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Kwasi Kwarteng, announced a budget that was so incredibly geared towards the rich that you almost had to give them credit for their brazen disregard of anyone who hadn't been astute enough in life to be a consultant for Shell.
Next year's planned increase in corporation tax will be cancelled. I'm not going to cut the additional rate of tax today, Mr. Speaker. I'm going to abolish it altogether.
Unfortunately, this mini budget, which was so well received by hedge fund managers, wasn't quite as well received by the stock market.
And you announced £45 billion of tax cuts without setting a fiscal framework. It precipitated a £65 billion emergency bond buying programme by the Bank of England to protect pension funds. The pound tanked.
You're welcome, America. But then a couple of days ago, Zombie Liz and Kamikaze Kwarteng did what this government has done for years, and that is to perform a U-turn.
And now the lady not for turning has announced a massive U-turn on a policy. This is surely the worst start of any Prime Minister.
They're doubling down on the rest of the budget though, because of course they are, because that's all populists know how to do when confronted with facts and criticism. Poor old Liz though, I think, is living in a parallel universe where it's still the 70s and just relentlessly reducing tax is seen as a genius economic plan.
To stabilise the market for public debt for gilts on the one hand and the value of the pound, it should push interest rates to 6%. This is my estimation of what would now stabilise the money markets in Britain. But that would break like a toy the housing market.
She's just now finished presenting at the Tory conference. During her speech, she alluded to people trying to block her plan for growth, because people hate growth, don't they? Especially the left. The left hates growth. Don't forget that our economy flourished in the late 90s and early noughties under Labour. Perhaps if we wanted growth, we shouldn't have left the single biggest international economic market. Or maybe growth isn't the key to every single good thing ever, Liz, you utter half-wit. Ask Scandinavia. Average growth, high standard of living. But there they actually care for their poor, and that just wouldn't fly with the Tory donors who keep the Tories in power, so back to plan A, I guess. What really pisses me off about this current crop of career losers masquerading as effective leaders is that they keep trying to jam this idea down our throats that the Conservatives are the party of solid economic policy. Oh really? The party that crushed our economy with austerity measures for over a decade? The party that mutilated the value of the pound in literally a few hours? Don't let the fact that they speak with huge swathes of unearned confidence distract you from their actual records. See you in the next one.